This week, Sri Lanka has lots to celebrate. The reason we have elephants on our backdrop is to celebrate a phenomenon, the birth of the first twin baby elephants born at the Elephant Orphanage in Pinnavala. And more celebrations as Oshini Gunawardena wins the Girls Online World Youth Chess Championship in the Under-10 category. Sri Lanka's Dinesh Priyantha Herath wins gold and Samitha Kodituakku bronze at the Paralympics in Tokyo. And Sarit Fernando becomes the first Sri Lankan to be placed first at the World Scout Youth Forum. He speaks with us next. Welcome to your weekly dose of daring, positive, different with Prime Group Kaleidoscope with me, Savithri Rodrigo. While we stand among these majestic pachyderms, with photographs shared exclusively with Prime Group Kaleidoscope by Lalit Dasanayake, the head prefect of St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia, made history this week when he was ranked first among 700 participants in over 160 countries at the 14th World Scout Youth Forum. A first for Sri Lanka, Sarit Fernando's secret to gaining top marks? Pioneering unique initiatives for scouting during the pandemic, including the Global Cultural Jamboree.
It was indeed my greatest privilege to show the world what Sri Lankans are made of, and also to show that even being from a small island like this, that there is so much of untapped potential in this country. And I hope in the future to bring this potential to all young people in the Scout movement as well as in other areas, that we at a global level can indeed make a difference and can have an impact.
Welcome to 88 Residence Kathodua. Invest just 3 million and own your dream home. Pay 25% in 2.5 years, 55% at the handover with zero interest. Prices starting from 14.5 million. 0710 888 444. 88 Residence, Prime Group.
Welcome to Snapshot and a quick look at the week that was. In July, Sri Lanka's apparel industry hit the $1 billion mark for the second month in 2021. Sri Lanka's reserves will be strengthened with an influx of over $1 billion from the IMF, Bangladesh Central Bank and China Development Bank. Sri Lanka's headline inflation increased to 6% in August from 5.7% in July. With over 5 billion vaccines being administered globally, 5 billion new syringes are being discarded. Maserati unveiled its first supercar in 15 years. A 100% natural Sri Lankan King Coconut Vodka has hit the shelves, and it is 37% proof. Whew, that should get everyone in high spirits. We'll be back with the EU's review status and entrepreneurs who found opportunity during the pandemic. Welcome to our news capsule. A fresh EU review is scheduled on Sri Lanka's GSP Plus facility in September to ascertain whether Sri Lanka has done enough to retain the GSP Plus concession. This is in response to a resolution adopted by the EU in June. EU Ambassador in Sri Lanka, Denny Shivey, and Head of Political Trade and Communications of the EU delegation, Thorsten Bargfrede, is exclusively on Prime Kaleidoscope today. I asked them what Sri Lanka's GSP status of the review is right now and how important it is for Sri Lanka to retain GSP+.
We in the delegation, working with our colleagues in Brussels, are actively monitoring Sri Lankan commitments on human rights, on labour, on environment, and experts will have discussion at the end of September on this topic. But Thorsten, you've been here for more than 3 years. In your eyes, how important is GSP Plus for the Sri Lankan economy?
It has worked really well since GSP Plus was regranted in 2017. Exports have grown by 28%. That means more foreign currency earning, very crucial at this point. That means more employment for people working in the exports industries. And it means also more competitiveness towards those countries who are exporting in the same areas to the same market. Finally, there's a lot of potential still with continuation of GSP Plus to further integrate into international supply chains and even get a bigger grip of the European market.
The Colombo stock market has been breaking records, even going over the 9,000 point on the ASPI this week. By close of market on Thursday, there were further gains with the all share price index moving up by 4.3%, while the daily turnover averaged a healthy 13.3 billion rupees. The fourth wave of COVID and a resultant drop in demand led to WTI oil closing at $68.35 per barrel, down slightly from its recent highs. This week, gold rebounded slightly from its recent lows to $1,815 per ounce. The pandemic has seen some great business ideas emerge, especially driven by young people who see opportunity rather than adversity. A group of young entrepreneurs has developed a reliable and efficient, tech-driven last-mile delivery solution. Connect co-founder and director Uttunga Jayawardena joins me today.
We've developed our own delivery order management system. There's a live GPS tracking solution, so until the package actually comes to the recipient's hand, they can track it on their phone itself without downloading any applications. And in terms of the merchants, we've made it very simple because we've developed our own plugins for mainstream platforms like Magento, WooCommerce and Shopify, where once you integrate with these systems, what happens is when all the orders come in, you don't need any human intervention, it's all automated. So it comes into our system and the pickups and the deliveries are automatically handled by the system itself. So it saves a lot of time and money for the merchants. And also we also have developed a rapid order fulfillment solution. This is where we have a lot of brands who've given the entire stock to us. It's stocked with us. So this is where we store the items. We basically pick it, pack it and label it and dispatch and deliver when the orders come in.
Nike's newest shoe is easy on, easy off. The Go Fly Ease is Nike's first pair of laceless sneakers. Features a tension band instead of laces to secure the shoe on your foot and will put you back by just $120.
Welcome to 88 Residence Skatudua. Invest just 3 million and own your dream home. Pay 25% in 2.5 years, 55% at the handover with zero interest. Prices starting from 14.5 million. 0710 888 444. 88 Residence Prime Group.
You're watching Prime Group Kaleidoscope. Up next on Srilanka Life Let's Talk, make young people think out of the box, says Shannon Miso.
World of risks and obstacles, we are there to help you reach your goals. With 12 billion rupees worth of customer benefits in 2020 and a life insurance fund worth over 100 billion rupees. Our strength is your strength. You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Srilanka Life.
Education is what remains after one has forgotten everything we learned in school. Going by Albert Einstein's words of wisdom, then we've got this whole education thing wrong in Sri Lanka. It's a system of rote learning. Yes, even during the pandemic. It's a system of meaningless exams. Yes, again, even during the pandemic. And it's a system that doesn't encourage critical thinking. Once again, you would have thought that the pandemic would have spurred change, but it hasn't. Out there in the big wide world, all that remains as a skill once you finish school is critical thinking. A soft skill that is sought just not in universities alone, but in the world of work. Basically, it's about thinking out of the box, understanding how something works, pulling things apart, and identifying the building blocks. Today on Srilanka Life Let's Talk, we push those buttons on critical thinking. And in the studio is Shannon Miso. Firstly, a mum, also a teacher. She's the head of the English department of Asian International School and a theatre practitioner, an actor and a director. Being a teacher, you know that critical thinking is basically looking at things out of the box. In the current context of Sri Lanka and her students, what exactly is out of the box?
Right now in Sri Lanka, thinking out of the box in this particular context is just being open to trying different ways of engaging with students virtually. So it's not easy because you don't want to make it all about education. As you rightly said, you had a discussion with Ruanti recently. Even there, she talks about how we shouldn't, only be about education. So we try to have Instagram live sessions. We have something called a performance showcase where we're trying to get children to engage with us in different ways virtually and not just academically. So that's out of the box.
Critical thinking also comes from extracurriculars. So while there is emphasis on extracurriculars during non-exam years, when it comes to exam years, parents quite willingly pull their children out of extracurriculars. What does this do to that aspect of critical thinking in students?
I mean, I personally don't agree with this. I think exams shouldn't be the be-all and end-all of a school experience. I personally benefited so much from not only focusing on my studies when I was in school, but doing other things, especially your extracurriculars, it forces you to learn how to balance and create what we now in modern life call work-life balance, right? And in that process of diversification, you learn how to manage your time, how to be more organized. All of these are essential skills, and we're looking at a future with artificial intelligence, with AI, and if we have the opportunity to learn how to diversify, learn how to adapt, I think that's where we should kind of focus on, because that's what's going to make a difference between a human being and a machine, and we need to build on these skills to be relevant. And I feel like parents really need a bit of a wake-up call in terms of allowing their children to participate more in extracurriculars, even during exams. It's okay.
You speak of diversification. How does this diversification impact in the world of work?
I feel that if a student isn't allowed to diversify, and if a student doesn't develop critical thinking abilities, I think in a workplace situation, he or she may be easily replaced by a machine. I mean, we need to focus on what makes us human, number crunching, all of that. That's what a machine can do, right? And I constantly tell kids that, this is why we need the humanities. The humanities is dying. And we need to get more involved in the humanities, because this is what is going to take you a long way, literally and figuratively. Get involved in your extracurriculars, do theatre, do performance, read. Community service is important, internships are important, taking a gap year is important. This is what is going to allow students, when they come out into the world, to learn to adapt and to exist.
All what you say is true, Shannon, but in the practical world, it just doesn't work. Because at the end of the day, what is important to both students and parents are the grades, because that's how they get ahead. Now, in that scenario, what do you say to both parents and students?
I want to say to parents that education is holistic, that it's not only about grades, and that I think sometimes, it sounds very prosaic, but at the end of the day, cultivating a proper human being, a human being who is human, is what is important. And that's why you need to learn skills that will help you to adapt wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And that's the message that I would really like parents to take, that yes, we're virtual right now. Yes, it's rather essentializing. Yes, it's rather generalizing. But we need to refocus on what is important, on teaching your child a skill that will let your child thrive when you're no longer there.
So I do hope our parents take note that education is holistic, and it's not just about grades. It is about refocusing and making sure that our children get ahead in the world out there. Thank you very much, Shannon, for joining us on Kaleidoscope Srilanka Live Let's Talk. It has been a true pleasure. So this is one of Lalit Tasanayaka's photographs of an Asian elephant found in Sri Lanka. Only male Asian elephants have tusks. In African elephants, both males and females have tusks. Contemporary, chic and sustainable. art jewellery created with a green cause is Sara Azur's speciality. Her material, PET bottles, fabric, paper and thread combined with brass or precious metals. Here's her story in Life in 60.
We use recycled and upcycled material with combination of precious and semi-precious material in our jewellery. We consider each piece of jewellery to be an expression, a celebration of memory, emotions and a story that we try to tell. We believe in creating art when words fail and encourage others to do so as well. Thus, our label also focuses on creating mental health awareness and encouraging others to create art as a way to express their emotions.
If you like our show today, then show us simply by pressing the like sign on YouTube. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to Kaleidoscope with Savithri Rodrigo and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Please don't flout lockdown rules. It is what keeps you and I safe. We'll be back next week with another Prime Group Kaleidoscope. Until then, here's our Kaleidoscope takeaway in memory of all those magnificent beasts who have been killed for ivory. No one in the world needs an elephant tusk but an elephant. Thomas Smith.